Today, on Awakening with Amy, transform anything in your life by mastering your vibration. Welcome. I'm Amy Valentine, certified life coach, here to awaken your ideal life so you can be, do, and have any desire. And today we're going to talk all things vibration so you can understand how energy, how vibration is the key really to change anything in your life. You know, we're changing how we see everything in our life. And that's where the power lies, right? To expand our view. And let me just start by saying that this was inspired by a client of mine that I met a couple months ago. He reached out to me via email, told me his story, and he wanted me to share some of his wins, what's been going on with him. So in a nutshell, when he reached out to me a few months ago, he was struggling. He is a college student. He's an athlete. He's a wrestler, and he was severely injured and was really grappling with some things, some conditions and circumstances that were going on in his life. And he said to me that he would be honored if I would share some of his story just to help some of you. He said, if they can relate in any way to what I went through and how I'm coming out of it, he's like, I would be thrilled. So that's what we're going to do. So he, like I said, he was injured. He had some challenges, you know, going to doctors and everything. And basically, he was physically healed from all the injuries, but what was happening was the emotional wounds were creeping out. And he found out secondhand that his girlfriend at the time, now his ex-girlfriend, but his girlfriend at the time was saying some pretty hurtful things behind his back. And when he found out, he broke up with her. And he said to me, Amy, I am just so hurt. He's like, not only am I upset about the injury and I couldn't wrestle for a while and I had to, you know, go through therapy and recover. He said, now the person that I thought was on my side totally hurt my feelings. And he said, I had to cut her off. And he said, I'm having a hard time forgiving her for that. And so that's kind of how I met him. And what I said to him early on was, if whatever she said, however she hurt you, it is showing up in your life experience because you were holding that story already within you and it had to show up in some way, and it showed up as her. I said, so there's no blame, there's no guilt, there's no judgment or condemnation here. Understand, open your awareness and understand that everything is reciprocal. What I put out, I get back in some way. And that's how we kind of began. I began teaching him about energy and vibration. And understand, we all have a core vibrational frequency that is unconditional love. That's our soul. That is just always high vibration. It's always just that pure unconditional love. So we always have access to it because it's who we really are. These physical bodies, these physical experiences are just an experience. We're a soul that came into a physical body. And look, we're born as babies. We forget this. We are dependent upon the adults around us. And that dependency really becomes, you know, it's necessary, right? A baby needs an adult to survive. But later on, that dependency, we literally misunderstand that we picked up the vibration, the energy, the thought patterns of the people around us. Every thought of lack, every thought of I am not enough came from the world that we were born into. So all that thinking, all those lower level thoughts, those third density beliefs of I am not enough, that really kind of turns into our ego, you know, that construct of the mind, the physical mind, understand it's not who you are. This is the key to understanding frequency. So let's read a quote from Nikola Tesla to dive deeper into this. If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Nikola Tesla. The secrets of the universe. Really, the secret, it's hidden in plain sight. It's with that Hindu story that I talked about a couple videos ago, that our God power, our infinite power is hidden within us. We keep looking out there, right, in the physical world for the answers, for the signs, for our worthiness, when we're already born worthy and we forget it because we pick up the energy and the vibration of those around us, and they picked it up from their parents, so they don't even know they're doing it. So you can let them off the hook. There's no blame here, right? So step one, if you want to transform anything and understand vibration, like Nikola Tesla said, you have to think in those terms. And those terms is what source energy is. God, infinite intelligence, the divine, mind, whatever you want to call it. We have to think as that because we are one with it. And that mind is just energy. It's the energy of pure, unconditional love. It is so unconditionally loving that it gave us free will to come into a physical body and use that discernment. And that's how we transform anything. We wake up in the dream of life and understand step one is awareness. Become aware of what your true nature is. Like Bashar says, you're already a high vibrational being. It's just covered up in the physical realm. So you don't have to do anything, literally, to become more. You already are more. It's about being aware of that more and more and more, right? And that's what I'm helping my client, this college student, understand. Instead of defining himself through his wrestling career, through his athletics, through his schooling, through his relationship with his girlfriend, I said, you have to understand you are the operant power and not those conditions, right? So, number one, stop believing that negative thought, that negative program, I am not enough. Stop believing that. It is a lie. It is a lie of the ego. It is a construct that you absorbed, that we all absorbed. And it feels so real. I know, because the ego kicking and screaming doesn't want you to let it go. So you have to become a discerning observer. Like Neville Goddard said, be the uncritical observer of your thoughts, of your assumptions, because that is what holds the key to your life story, what you're experiencing, what you assume to be true about yourself is what you experience. So stop believing those thoughts are you. Think about the power in that. They were handed down to you. They're not yours. So you can let them go. You can drop them. That consciousness, that awareness of being is so much greater than any thought of guilt that tells you you're not enough or you did something wrong. Any thought of fear, of anxiety, of worry. And how you know that it's a lie, it's because of how it feels in your body. If it feels off, it's because it's off. End of story. It's your emotional guidance system. Your emotions are your guide to let you know, am I thinking with my higher mind, with my soul, or am I thinking like my ego, like that little me, that I am not enough, that's always looking out there for fulfillment and never finds it. It never lasts, right? So your life energy gets drained by those I am not enough thoughts, right? It's the lies that we buy into And those negative thoughts, right? They lure you back into the program, believing they are you. It's like a parasite in your mind. So understand, you don't need to fight it. You don't need to fix them. This is the power in this. You don't need to transform them or flip them. You need to only understand they're not you. End of story. And that takes being an uncritical observer, the power of presence, right? That's what Seth, through Jane Roberts, said all those years ago in the 70s. Your point of power is now. Why? Because in terms of vibration and energy and frequency, consciousness, source energy, what you are one with, what we are all one with, only knows the now moment. It has no concept of linear time. Linear time is only a construct of the physical realm, of the third density, so we can experience change. Change in the changeless, right? That change is for us to choose. So that's how you transform it. You choose. Again, you choose from what perspective am I coming from? The higher me or the little me? And that literally makes every negative condition null and void. And honestly, when you stop judging anything as negative, you literally drop the cause of all suffering, right? So understand that lack and limitation was installed into you unknowingly. It's just a program. It's what the movie The Matrix was all about, right? Getting out of the program, the red pill, the blue pill, right? So you have the power to override the program by stop believing in it. Stop believing those thoughts are you. Stop believing the stories in your head that tell you you're not enough. They're not true. They're lies. You are the operant power, like Neville says. So, and understand who you are being in this physical world is a character you're playing, because behind that mask is your pure essence, your core frequency, your core vibrational essence, which is your soul. It's just unconditional love. That's it. It's never affected by any drama or trauma that you experience in this life experience. So Neville Goddard says, man is only limited by weakness of attention and poverty of imagination. That weakness of attention is the program that we bought into, the program of fear that creates the anxiety, the worry, the doubt. The poverty consciousness is not you. When you know that, you take your power back. So those thoughts are still going to be there, right? But again, discernment. It takes being that uncritical observer. And when you take the criticism out of it, you take the judgment out of it, you take the cause away, the cause of all suffering. That is the cause of all suffering. So Bashar has a really good sort of way to kind of, he says it's a technique, but really it's a process, but it's all one process. And this is what he says. This is how you stay in a mindset, in a state of being, no matter what's happening, no matter what your mood or your attitude, it doesn't matter. Stop judging yourself through your temporary feelings, temporary thoughts, or temporary conditions. Bashar is saying how you connect to the high vibration of who you really are, your core frequency, is by following your excitement. He says, act on your highest passion to the best of your ability. Be willing to do that. Just hold that intention. And not every moment or high passion, he doesn't mean it's like knock your socks up. He's talking like, it's like honoring your power to choose. Should I brush my teeth or should I work out? Should I have breakfast or should I go take a walk? Should I, go to work this way or should I go to work that way? He says, would you get in touch with your passion, your excitement? It just means following your higher mind. And it gets easier and easier. And he says, number 2, do it to the best of your ability with no insistence on what the outcome should be. That is where the doubt comes in, right? We insist it has to look a certain way or be a certain way. And when we get disappointed if it doesn't turn out. When we get disappointed, remember, you're buying into the program again. You're buying into what is not you, what is not yours. So remind yourself, I don't need to insist on the outcome because when I follow my excitement, it can contain no negative outcome. That's what Bashar says, because it's your higher mind guiding you. And number 3 says, no matter what happens or what has happened, understand everything is for you. When you can extract the positive meaning in everything, and that is what my client is doing now. This is what he really, the lesson he wanted me to share with you, that after a few months, he said he's in better shape than ever. He's attracting opportunities that are making him money, that are helping him pay for school, pay for his wrestling. He said he feels so empowered, better than he ever has. And he's just looking at his life differently. And this is the power of understanding your core frequency and not defining yourself through the physical appearances. Bashar is telling us that our higher mind always speaks through us via our passion. And that doesn't mean it has to be one grand thing. It just, like I said, it just is always being aware that I have the choice. The lower mind speaks to us through fear, doubt, and worry. And that's how you know it's the program and it's not who you are. So be willing to follow your bliss, follow your passion. And let me end with, I heard this today, and when I was writing my notes for this video, I wanted to read this to you all to end the video. And really, this is what my client is, I think, saying to me energetically, how he's beginning to feel. And this is what Bashar said. Many times, individuals are simply in the last little step, unwilling to let themselves go, unwilling to let themselves surrender to the true nature of your being. Many of you stand right on the edge, right on the threshold of falling into total unconditional love with yourselves, but you just can't quite bring yourself to believe that's okay. It is okay. Fall in love with yourself. You deserve it. That's from the wonderful teacher Bashar. Fall in love with who you really are. Remind yourself, any thought of I am not enough is a program. It's not you. It's not yours. And you can override it by stop identifying with it, by being the uncritical observer behind those thoughts, behind that awareness. In other words, that core high vibrational frequency of your soul, of who you really are. So fall in love with that and just watch everything else out there transform right before your eyes. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for liking and sharing the video. Thank you for subscribing, and thank you for commenting. I love your comments. And until next time, have a wonderful day.